Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. I was just on earlier. I was like, it's Wednesday. It is definitely Wednesday. Hello. Let me turn this volume down. Pull up Facebook. Okay, let me put this. What is going on? Maybe it'll work. Come on, Facebook. Do your thing. Do your thing, Facebook. Oh, shoot, I just dropped my blanket. Dang it. Oh, gosh, it's a little chilly in here. But I've got my blanket. I got my blanket. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my page. My name's Amber. I'm not really sure what's going on with Facebook. It's like frozen. Maybe it'll get it together. Let me see if it's working over here. My screen looks completely frozen. What is up with you? Come on. Normally, sometimes I don't see anything. I see. Okay. I pinned the comment. I pinned the link. Hi, Dina. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I see now Facebook decides to work. Y'all, Facebook is super slow. Super slow. I used to get like notifications like really quickly, and then like more people watch the replay than they watch the live. I don't even know what's going on. Hello, everyone. We're going to paint tonight, and I'm going to show you a couple of different things. This is a free painting that you can do. I put the link down below and pinned it. So if you want to go get this tracer, I did do a tracer. I don't have the tracer with me, so I'm going to freehand it. And if I can freehand it, y'all can freehand it too. I know you can. But if you want to get the tracer and you want to paint this one, I just got done doing it, which is really hard to do on my mobile phone. And then I had to go get all my paint colors and everything else that I want to use. So here we are at 10 p.m. What's new, right? Hello, everyone. Hello. What's up? I have my sweet tea. No coffee. No coffee. Hello, Cindy. What is up, Becca? I remember watching in a little room in my previous house. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. So in the other house, I'll wait. I'll give Facebook some time to tell everyone. Y'all, Facebook is just, it's super frustrating, but it is what it is. So in the other house, the room that I was in belonged to my older two sons who are grown now. And when Zach and Michelle got married, they moved out on their own. I took over that room, and do y'all remember when I painted like this desk that I had? I painted it like navy. I ended up donating that desk to oh gosh, it's like, they built them a house and then they furnished it. I can't think of the organization that did it, but anyways, I ended up like donating this desk to this family. Essentially I painted it navy. It had like a light blue underneath, and it was so beautiful. And it had like this plank color. Anyways, so I painted that desk in that room. I also did the pink, I called it the pink piece because it was bright pink, and we did like this ombre finish to it. Is a lot of fun. But I painted in that room those pieces that was in there, and then I ended up getting a different desk when I donated that one. And so in that room, I had a desk that faced like the middle of the room, and a folding table that faced the desk. And in between the two tables was a tripod. I have a tripod now, but it's sitting like on the counter. This tripod went to the floor, and I would turn it. So when I had to do my other business stuff, I had it facing the other way. And then when I was crafting and stuff, I faced it, you know, towards the closet. And then I had closet doors on that closet when I was in that room. And then I was like, I cannot maneuver in here and keep like taking out my chair to get the doors open, to get into the closet for all my craft stuff. So I had my husband take them off. And then, funny story, when we sold our house, we had to buy new doors because we're like, where did the doors disappear to? We're not really sure where they went. I couldn't tell you where they went because they were off for so long. But that room had no doors on the closet. And then I ripped up the carpet in there and I chalk painted the floor. Does anyone remember? Like, I have done some really crazy, questionable things. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. And if you were not here during that time, you can go back and watch all those videos because they're on my Facebook page. Gosh, that was in like 2019. That was in 2019. What happened to April? She has shingles. She's in her room right now. She's resting. She's resting. Darlene, I know you remember. You've been here a while. Yeah, that was some crazy stuff. People thought that I was crazy chalk painting my concrete floor. Hey, it lasted. It lasted. You crafted those dang doors. I don't know what happened. I painted the kitchen or the bathroom cabinets. Yep. I also painted my kitchen cabinets. If you did not know this, back in the day, I had this paint group. I called it the Makery, and some of you guys may remember this. I don't know how long you've been around, but back in like 2017, 2018, I started doing like live videos and stuff, and people wanted to take classes on like how to paint furniture and stuff like that. And so I had this, you know, group, sorry, let me turn this down, called the Makery. It was my paint membership group. It was my furniture painting membership group. And we painted my kitchen cabinets, and I had the flu. I was so sick. I had the flu. We did it. The day I told my husband, I was at my store because I had a storefront at the time. I was at the store and I was like, hey, if you could take all the doors off and like all the, get all the stuff prepped, I'm going to start painting the doors to the cabinets, when I get home. And then we'll like do it over the weekend. And at the time, my store wasn't open 7 days a week. It was open Monday through Saturday. Anyways, so I started feeling not very good. I was like, man, I feel like I'm getting sick. I feel like something's going on. And I was like, I just feel like I am just not well. And the kitchen cabinets took like 2 coats of paint per door. And so I got like the first coat of paint on all the doors. I was so exhausted, but I recorded that in that Makery group for everyone. And y'all, I looked like a hot mess. I looked like I was sick. And then I think it was the very next weekend, I had painted the entire living room and hallway in that house and did the tile backsplash with the flu. I'm like, I am a girl on a mission. Yeah, I had never tiled a backsplash before, but I did. And y'all, it looked absolutely fantastic. She did. We went to the, what's it called? It's like an urgent care, but they call it something else. What's wrong with April? She has shingles. If you missed our video last night, we even circled her little spot on her back, and then she had 2 other little spots that were kind of separate. So it was like 3 different things going on. And so I circled it with a Sharpie, and it was a very questionable picture that was drawn. Everyone was laughing about it. And then this morning she woke up and it had grown. and not just, it was like more spots were coming up. And then this morning she sent me a picture of a spot on her stomach area, and it's like a cluster this big, and it had this like light spot in the middle. And so it kind of looked like, I don't know, it looked like it was coming together like this, like a cluster, but there wasn't anything in the middle, and it was blistery looking. So she has, I was like, I think you have shingles. I really think you have shingles. And so she was like, well, when I get off work today, we'll go to the urgent care. So we did. But throughout the day, she developed from her back all the way around to the front side. It's all completely like, yeah. I love the big red cabinet. Yeah, that one. Zach and Michelle has that one. And I told them, I was like, you can never get rid of this. If you want to get rid of it, just give it back to me. That was my grandmother's. And my grandmother got it from her best friend. Her name was Eileen, and Eileen passed away. And so when Eileen passed away, my grandma got that hutch, and I was like, it was that tan brown. I didn't want that, so I wanted to paint it. And so I asked my grandma, I was like, can I paint it? I want to paint it barn red. And she was like, it's yours. Do what you want with it. So I painted it, and I'm telling you, it looks so good. It looks so good. It was, it's probably one of our #1 pinned images on Pinterest. Yeah. Yeah. She's doing good. She's in there. She's doing pretty good. The doctor said she might be up all night because they gave her like a steroid shot. I was like, you know what? What's one night being up all night? It's not that bad, you know, but anyways, so she is contagious. She is. That's why the kids are not coming over. I've had chicken pox. Did you keep it? Did I keep what? I don't know what you're referring to. When are her kids coming? I would rather not share that information. Like the privacy and identity of her children is very important. So her kids are coming, but I'm not going to disclose like when or any of that stuff. We really try to respect their adoptive parents, and so it's just it's what's best for them to just, you know, keep that to a minimum of like, yes, they're coming, but the red cabinet I painted, yeah, I said that Zach and Michelle has it. I didn't think before I asked. It's okay. I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't hurt to ask, but I wanted to elaborate like why I'm not saying much. But yes, they're coming, and they'll be here. I think for a week, I'm not sure. So I feel like I gotta sneeze. Goodness gracious. Okay. We're gonna paint tonight. Let me put my blanket on and tuck it under my legs. I have shorts on. It was super hot, and we had to do all those boards today, which I have to go move my husband's truck and block the driveway so that no one comes and bothers it. Thank you. So tonight we're going to do a painting. Now I went out into my garage, which is where a lot of my craft stuff is. Our garage is such a hot mess right now. Anyways, I have a bunch of different canvases out there. There's just stuff out in there. There's a whole wall that's just boxes of my craft stuff in the garage. There is craft stuff at the warehouse. Y'all, it is everywhere, and it's overwhelming. But I went and got, these are the ones I could find. I typically use a lot of the 8x10 canvases, and this one is actually not a Dollar Tree canvas. It came from Michael's, I believe, or Hobby Lobby. But these two did come from the dollar store. So this one is a 6x8, so it's smaller. You can kind of see the scale of the size. Let me scoot you back just a little bit. You can see the scale of the size, and it's still like a rectangle. This is a square, and you can do squares if you want to as well. It's not a stretched framed canvas. It is just a flat, it's just a flat canvas, but these come from the dollar store. And then you could also use cardboard. You could use any surface that you want. You could use cardstock. It depends on what you're painting with. You could use watercolor. You could literally paint with anything. There's no rules. People do all different types of mixed media art on different surfaces. You can paint on fabric. You can paint on a number of things. So I'm gonna do the canvas tonight. I was gonna do cardboard, and then I was like, I'm gonna do a canvas. And I'm going to freehand it. I'm gonna look at a picture, and I'm gonna freehand it. So I did draw it on my iPad, but I don't have a printer hooked up here. So I don't have the tracer to do like the carbon paper, like the graphite paper, and do a transfer. So I'm gonna freehand it onto this canvas with a pencil. I did put the link, it is pinned below. At least on my iPad, I see it pinned below. It just says Amber Strong DIY. It's got a little blue pin, and it has a link that takes you to the Paint with Amber collections. And when you look at that, I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like so you guys can see really quick before we get started. Let's do this. So this is a collection. So we are building our portfolio slowly but surely of our paint classes, and these are all very beginner level. And as you see, there's a whole lot of free. I mean, there's a lot of free things, okay? And there is very few things that you will pay for. Now, I believe in giving as much as I possibly can, but we do have things that we charge for. And so this one right here will be the one that we will be doing next week, which is these two together. And it's going to be a Friday and Saturday type of thing. And we're going to paint these two together in our class. Great for any level. You don't even have to leave your house. This one we're going to be doing on Friday. I did post about that today. So this one is completely free. And when you check out, you don't have to put in any of your information. It just is a way to send an automation to you. So this is what we're going to be doing on Friday. And then this is the one we're going to be doing tonight. So this is the Beach Girl. I called it the Beach Girl. And I'm gonna have to go turn off his notifications on his iPad. So I'm gonna freehand this, which you can do also, but if you want the tracer, you basically print it out, use graphite paper, you trace the graphite paper, and it automatically puts it onto your canvas in the way that it's shown here. So that way, if you're like freehanding, you don't get it wrong, okay? So, like I said, we have a collection called Paint with Amber. And I told you guys at the beginning of the year that this is something that I really wanted to do with everyone, because I feel like a lot of the feedback I was getting last year, we have wood cutouts. They're not Dollar Tree wood cutouts. They're not super cheapies. But a lot of people were like, I really want to do these, but I'm not a very good painter. And so this is a way for me to create something, a lot of free things, like I said, to help people get familiar with paint and a paintbrush. And this was my solution to that dilemma. Okay. So what is the pain point of our people? I'm not really good at very good at painting. How do we challenge them? And I try every time I do one of these, because they're very beginner level, to teach ways. I am not a skilled, like, educated, I didn't go to college for art. I didn't go to college for, like, how to paint and all the things. I'm a 100% self-taught person. So I am very visual in interpretation. I see something, how did they get that look? Let me try to figure out how they got there. And I like to, kind of like people who play music by ear, I like to try to paint by looking sometimes. I have taken a lot of classes. I just believe that every person has an inner artist within them, and you have to identify what type of artist you are. And you don't need to go to school to do that. Like, you just have to have a good time, and you'll learn as you do it. And it's just a lot of fun to draw and paint and make things. So I don't think anyone has to be, you know, good at something to do something. So that's how I feel about it. And so that's what I try to encourage with other people is pick up a paintbrush, get you some paint, and put it on, and it'll be just great. Sign up for the class. A little scared, never painted like this before. Lynn, you're going to be able to do it. I promise you. I promise you. But I will say this. You're going to be so addicted to it. You're just going to be like, I cannot believe I did that. And the reason I say that is because whether you take my class or someone else's classes, I'm not kidding you when I say this. Hands down, when I have new people do things with me, I always see, like, I read their comments, and because I ask people to show me what you've made, and they are either too scared to take a picture. I'm like, everyone has to start from zero. Everyone is a beginner. You have to give yourself permission to fail. You have to give yourself permission to not be good, but you can't get better if you never do it. So I've always challenged people, like, you cannot know what your skill set level is if you do not allow yourself to be vulnerable. So, y'all, I have a blank canvas and I'm about to freehand it. Okay. So I just have a mindset that, it'll be okay. It'll be okay because number one, it's just paint. It's just art, and art is, based on the interpretation of the artist. Some people may not like what you do. Some people may think that it's absolutely atrocious. But if you love it, the art is your interpretation. They don't have to like it. But if you love it and you're happy with it and you're proud of yourself, then that is what matters. So I always tell people, like, I don't like to hear people like, oh, you should have done this and you should have done this. Like, they're the artist. What they did on their canvas is their vision, and you don't have their vision to critique it. Now you can say, hey, I love that. I love what you did. Hey, can I share with you, here's some things, some tips and tricks that I can share to maybe help you, like, with your next time. But, yeah, no, I just feel like, you know, you don't have to be good. You got this. You got this. I'm going to turn his notifications off on his iPad really quick. Hold on. Let me turn it off. How do they do that? Let's go with silent mode. Silent mode. Okay. All right, let me get myself tucked back in. You guys got this. You can do it. All right, so I'm going to put on my glasses because I need them for this. And tuck my blanket back under my legs. All right. So I'm just pulling up the picture. I'm gonna relocate you over my shoulder, and we're gonna do this. Okay. This for me to freehand this. This will be a great place for us to be. Okay. So on my drawing, which I did on my iPad, this is probably not going to be exactly to scale, but I'm going to just eyeball it and figure it out. Like I said, I pinned in the comments the tracer. So you can, don't give yourself anxiety, but if you want to paint with me, you can freehand it because I'm going to do it too. So I'm essentially just going to add my sun right over here in this corner. Okay, so see, I'm just kind of gauging where the sun is. And then about this far down is the sea level. And I need to sharpen my pencil. And it kind of goes across at an angle. Let me find my lead. Okay, so there's our sea level. We have our sand level, which is probably about here. And it also is at an angle. So if you can draw a little circle and some lines, you can do this. Let's see. We've got birds in the sky. We've got a couple of them just kind of floating around. We have a towel about here, and it goes kind of like so, and she's sitting on the towel. She has a bag, like a little tote bag that's kind of off to the side, and it's got a little scoop to it and a little bit of an opening. And we have lines on our towel because it's a striped towel. And so we're going to do that. And then we have an umbrella. So the umbrella is going probably a little bit larger. And like I said, we can paint this, we can paint over our lines. This is just a sketch. And then we have, actually, let me come down just a little bit with this. And we have this right here. And then it curves upward. And then over the top, there's a ruffle. And there's a little ball at the top. There we go. And then we have our pole. So it's just kind of the side of the umbrella. It's probably not the perfect scale. Like I probably could have done it a little bit larger. Maybe like that. There we go. That's pretty decent. Okay, so she's got a little umbrella. And then she has her hat is kind of, her hat kind of is bigger like so. And my circle is not the greatest. And then she's got a little circle in the middle of her hat. And then she's got this like ruffle happening. She's got a bow. And I'm just gonna make it kind of messy. She has her arms like so. Her back has a scoop in her bathing suit. I mean, do you see how I'm doing this? Like y'all can do this, okay? She has an arm that kind of comes down, and there's like a little elbow. She's got her little leg. And she's got her booty, which is not cute. That does not look good, but we'll fix it. Let's do her. Sorry, my thing's gonna time out. Her body. Let's do her arm. And then it kind of comes out. And we might extend the towel up a little higher. Okay, so she's got her hand, she's got her elbow, her arm is folded, and then we need to do the same thing on this side. So we're gonna come about here. Maybe not quite there. Let's come out just a little bit. Let's come down. We're just trying to gauge like where her arm is. And then she's got her bag back behind her, which is more on the side. I probably should have started her a little bit lower, but this is okay. So we've got her little scoop in her back, and you could do like a design if you wanted to. And this is the sand. So she is looking towards the water, and I need to sharpen my pencil. Okay. So got our towel. Let's do those lines. There we go. And you could do like if you wanted to do like a little bucket, like you can add something a little extra if you wanted to. Like, could do a little bucket. Try to keep it super simple-ish. Okay, so she's looking forward. Her head is about here. This is about where, so you want to think about the scale of like her body. So this is how it turned out, okay? Not bad. Not bad. All right. Now that that's done. Now that that's done, okay? Kept asking you for a password. Yes, you will need to log in. You will need to log into your account. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm gonna put these aside. I'm not using those. I do have some paper towels here. I like to have paper towels. I also have a cup of water. I just reused it several times. Hello, Vanessa. Look at what we're gonna paint. Look at what we're painting. It's gonna be so cute. I miss you already. I just saw you. We need a week of just like, someone come work for us in our businesses so that we can actually just like spend a week doing all the things. I'm impressed I drew that, right? Look. I mean, I had to make some changes. Like I had to fix some of the issues, and her shoulder looks like she needs surgery, but it's all good. It's all good. Okay. So I am going to, hello, Crystal. We're not going to use that bowl because that bowl is gross. We are going to use a different bowl, but I need a thing of wax paper really quick. I need my wax paper. And I think I'm going to do a couple of sheets this time. Just because I feel like I need it. So I'm going to stick this under my tripod here. And then I'm going to go over my paint colors that I picked. Now, I like to keep paper towels. Let's get you guys resituated here. Okay, sorry. I like to keep some paper towels. I also usually pull out some brushes. For this, I'm just going to grab my brush caddy and I'm going to move it over. I have a brush caddy that looks like this. Teach me how to run the machines. I mean, they're not that bad. Our thing is we have, it's the order packing that I'm so, like, the machines are nothing to run. For me, it's the order fulfillment. It's the packing of the orders that just needs it needs a good touch. You know what I'm saying? It needs a good touch from someone who knows. I don't know. It's about the customer experience. Where'd my plates go? I know that I have them. Y'all, I don't even know where my plates are, so I'm just going to open this up. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Yeah. We already make all the files. So the machines are as much as pushing a button and just knowing what goes with what. It's the packing part. Okay, so let me go over the colors that I pulled. I have black. Okay, we're gonna do some black on our plate. And I just put them all on one plate and I don't care if they get mixed up. We have white, and I am going to make a wash, I think. Oh, I don't have my glue. Gosh. There's a little bit of that. So I'll show you what we're doing. White, I have this warm beige, which I'll probably do. Oh, you're off on Fridays. I mean, in the future, we're probably going to have to hire people, but we're not quite there yet. We're growing, but we're growing to where we're not super overwhelmed. That was warm beige. And then I have burlap. And I'm going to put them on a different plate over here. And I have cocoa. I have a lot of colors, so that's why I'm trying to like put certain colors on certain plates. I'll move this over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So we have warm beige, we have, what was that? Burlap and cocoa. So we need to have a flesh color, and we also need a sandy beach. So this is where I'm trying to go with these right here. So I'm just visualizing what I might need and how I might get there, okay? So I also have this bleached sand, which some of these you probably may not need, but I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of that. And y'all, this is probably entirely too much paint. Entirely too much. Yellow ochre. I can open it. And I'm gonna put that on here. We don't need a lot. And then I'm gonna drop in a little bit of this cadmium yellow with that, just for our sun, okay? So you don't need a lot, you just need a little. The other colors that I have are Calypso Blue. And if you're painting this, you might want to just find some colors that inspire you, that you like. I also have Winter Blue, which you could mix a blue with white and get that. I just so happen to want this particular color because I have a, I don't know, I have a preference for it. I do have this Spice Pumpkin, but I also have the jack-o'-lantern orange. So I'm gonna start with a jack-o'-lantern orange, and if I need to, I will add in some of that spice pumpkin. We don't need a lot, we just need a little, okay? All right, I'm gonna set this spice pumpkin aside over here because we might be able to add in some other colors to get to where we need to go. This one is sour apple. Let me pull off this plastic. And then I also have this Sea Breeze. I'm channeling Inner Beach here. And we don't need a lot of it. So I'm just going to put that much on. About that much. It's a speckle. And then I also have this Purple Rain. And I do not need that much. And then I have this Burnt Umber. I'm channeling Destin. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I'm going to put the brown over here. You know it. Channeling Destin for sure. Okay, so these are the colors that I've picked for this painting. All these colors, okay? You're singing that in your mind, Purple Rain. Okay. Let me go get my Mod Podge because I like to prime sometimes and I need some Mod Podge and I'm going to show you why here in just a second. Oh goodness, let me get myself situated again. Put my blanket back on. Okay. So, gesso, 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 whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like a surface prep for canvases. And I don't know why that stuff is so expensive, but it is. So I kind of formulated... Not really. There's many hacks, and one of them is Mod Podge, water, and white paint. So a little bit of Mod Podge. We're going to do a little bit of water. It's not my formulation. I probably shouldn't have said that. It's like the DIY version of surface prep. Okay, we might need a little bit more Mod Podge. And I'm going to drop like a little bit of white paint and probably a little bit more Mod Podge. And basically what you're doing is you're creating a wash. It's like translucent that, I'm using a crunchy brush for this because we don't need it to be perfect. I am going to wet my brush, although there's already water in here. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a watered down mixture that's not thick. It's very watery. And I might add just a little bit more because I can tell on my brush it's more translucent than I want it to be. And so, yes. Yeah, it's basically the exact same thing. So that's what we're gonna do. And so we're mixing our own. And basically we're going, now it's a lot more pigmented. And we're gonna coat the whole thing. And it's super wet. And we're gonna dry it. And we're gonna paint over this. Normally mine is a lot more, probably added too much water, but it doesn't really matter. And you can see how my pencil is starting to create like a bleed, like almost like a bleed effect. And it's because I have too much water. That's okay. We got this. We're gonna paint over it anyways. And some people even dab theirs with like a paper towel or a cloth. And I'll show you in case you're not familiar with what that looks like. So you can ball up your paper towel, kind of like so, a couple times, and it makes it a little bit softer. And you can just bounce around. And it'll also, when it dries, depending on how much Mod Podge you have, it can create some, so see that? It can create some texture, just like so. So if you ever have too much, this is one of the ways you can alleviate that. And I'm just gonna dry it the way that it is. Almost looks like vintagey. And if you ever want to fix something, like, see how my pencil here is like a little bit of an issue? You can always take your concoction and go over your area. So see how I want to erase a little bit? It's not going to take it completely away, but for the most part, it'll erase out these little lines here of pencil mark. And then you can take your towel, dab it, and see, you can clean up your little things that you do. So before it dries, I'm just taking that mixture and I'm just going to erase out my overdrawn lines. See how you can just clean it up? So if you're ever like, I can't do this, yes you can. There's a trick for everything. There's a trick for everything. Take your paper towel, dab back through. And then if you're like, oh, I need to add some of that mixture back, because you took maybe too much off, you could take your paintbrush, paint right back over it, add your little mix, and you're done. Now we're gonna dry this. And see how it's not so, there's not so much of the outlines that are like overlapping or I've overcorrected. And it's gonna completely dry. Like it's not covering it. So you can still see all the little parts, okay? Hello, everyone. So we're doing the ice cream cone on Friday. If you guys want to take that class. And it will be at 7. The spots did not go away. She has shingles. Hello, Jane Miller. Was your sister with us? Maybe it was your sister that was asking. Someone was asking. Oh, there's Cheryl. Hello, hello, hello. I was wondering if you were here. Oh, she told you. Well, I'm glad you guys are hanging out. Even if it's just to pop in for a minute. I'm watching That's Pretty Good. Hello, Brenda. Can you put mixture on before you draw? Yes. I don't like to do it that way. But as you can see, it still looks fabric-y. It's still, like, there's a little drip on the edge. Let's clean that up because we don't want that. But it looks like I didn't even put anything on there, but there is something on there. Okay, so we're gonna take our painting and we're gonna start with, I like to start with the background and work my way forward. Some people like to do it in a different way. I just have a preference that I prefer. You can do the way that you want to do yours. There's no rules. You can just do whatever you like. So I have this brush here, and I just like to pick the brush that I want to use, that I'm like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I think I'll use this brush. So I want to do the background of the sky. I want to do the sand or the ocean, and I want to do the sand here. So I'm just going to apply my colors and I'm going to work on the background. Okay. So you can be really messy and clean it up as you go. There's really no rules. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to add some, let's go ahead and do our yellow sun. Okay. So I'm going to take the two yellows together, which we did not need a bunch of that. And basically what I did is I dipped in between the two and just picked it up like that. So just dip in and picked it up. And I'm gonna go right through the sun, just like so. And add our sun. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the top of my canvas for our sun. And I need to follow the angle. Right along there. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white and I'm just going to go over the top of it and drag through. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a sun painting. We're not looking for, you know, realism here. We're just looking for conceptual. Okay, let's clean out our brush. And this is where the paper towel comes in. You can use baby wipes if you want to. Oh, not that one. It's this one. Thank you. Okay, so we've got our sun going, and now we're going to do like around our umbrella, and we're going to do our sky in the back. So I like to take white and apply it, and I like to start in the middle And then I like to just work my way around and create my sky. Now this could be a cloudy sky. It could be a clear sky. Your goal is to not have a solid color sky. So dip in and add you some colors. And if you get into another area, it's okay. So see how I got onto my umbrella? It'll be fine. And so I'm just gonna paint right around this. And I don't like to overwork my paint if I don't have to. There's a glare from my kitchen lighting. So let me lift this up just a little bit. The goal is to, as your painting comes together, to make it make sense. Now our ocean is there, but our ocean's gonna have a little formation to it. We've got our umbrella happening on this side too. We've got some of that showing through. So I'm just gonna come right over the edge with our blue. And this has got a little bit of a scoop to it right here. So I'm just gonna mark that. And to add, and then we're gonna go around the hat. You might want it to look like the wind's blowing, there's a breeze. There's just some magic happening in the sky. And I'm not going quite up to that sun yet because it's still a little wet, which you can dry it if you want to. So I'm gonna come up to this sun. I'm gonna turn my canvas and I'm gonna follow it like a flat, like this. So my brush is flat and I'm just wiggling. So I'm gonna come and wiggle just like that around, and I'm gonna come like up to my sun. And just wiggle along. You could do it like this if you want. But I like the wiggle effect because it keeps with the consistency of like what's happening down here. And it's not so solid and smooth. And then I can add a little white. To this. Okay, let's get this edge right up to our sun. And then our ocean's gonna be kind of at an angle too. So let's get that line there and right there. And then let's get it at the top. Sorry, this is probably too close for y'all, but I'm gonna keep following. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna add some, I like to do just randoms of like, maybe there's like cloudies, passerbys. People have all different types of ways they want to make clouds or, you know, a sky. I just like to keep it simple. because, you know, beginner level, right? We're gonna let that be. All right, let's try that. Move this out of the way. Actually, let me come back to that just for a second. I can see where the hat is, that I don't like the way that that looks. It's too much. I know you probably saw it too. It needs to have a little more like texture in the sky. And I'll just go like right over her hat just a little bit. Okay, now I think that's okay. And maybe over on the umbrella. Can you download it on Android? Sure. Going to have blood work. Okay. I hope everything's okay. So see how the sky is drying darker? We can add over the top of this. I like an oil painting, and so I try to create combinations of different styles of how I want my stuff to look. And so I share with my two friends. Hopefully they join us. Well, maybe they will. I know it's late. Okay. So now we have our ocean. And our ocean is all of this area. Okay. So we got our pole. If we paint over that, it'll be okay. So I'm gonna go in with this blue and a little white. And it's a powerful blue, but it is the Caribbean. Right? So we've got a lighter, and then we've got a darker. So we're gonna try to keep with that in the back. And as we come forward, we have the light. And we want to just create what might look like there's waves. See how that works? Look at y'all. Okay. And then for this, we do not want to overmix our ocean. We don't want to do that. And I'm just using like the corner of my brush. Just zigging and zagging, okay? Just zigging and zagging. because there is movement to the ocean, right? All right, let's get that dark. So we can come up around her hat, and I'm just gonna follow around. I'm gonna have to pick it up, y'all. Sorry, but I gotta. Gotta come up by her hat just a little bit more. So just use your imagination and decide how your ocean would look to you. And then throughout the ocean, there are waves rolling. Just kind of random. And then some over here. And I did paint over the pole, but it'll be okay. And then over here, okay, we've got her arm. And then we've got the beach. And then we're gonna take this dark blue. I think that's Calypso blue. Y'all, I know my mock-ups are just like simple color drops. When I draw it on the iPad, I don't do like the finished like faux painting look. I just color drop so you get like the concept of what we're doing. But this is what we're doing. I want it to look like there's a little bit of like that wave happening past her hat that is carrying over. And so I feel like that's pretty decent. Now we're gonna have to extend this to where it kind of comes to the sand. Oh, thank you. So let's carry it around to the edge. Get some of that white. And then we'll carry it around this side. Now, if you like heavy body paints, which I love heavy body paints, not everyone loves them. When you use heavy body paints, they really keep the formation of like your paint and it doesn't level out as much. So this is probably gonna level out, but we're still hoping to see, like, keep the colors where they are. But when acrylics dry, they usually flatten out. Heavy body paints really keep their texture. And I am a lover of heavy bodied, but I don't just do like really super quick paintings with them. So I do something a little bit longer, and I like to use a palette knife too. So this is our paintbrush version. You can add, oh gosh, what's it called? A modeling paste. You can add modeling paste. I will tell you though, it took me a while to build up my collection of heavy bodied paints because they're so expensive. I would get them when they're on sale and I would buy 3 or 4 at a time. And that's what I would do. And I would just look for sales and deals. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. Oh, it's your first time painting? Isn't that so fun? So this is so far what we have achieved, okay? So, my goal is we're going to create some cloud coverage, and blend in our sun, because the sun doesn't normally look this way. We're not going for realism. This is a painting. And I know that a lot of people may not know how to like create an oilish painting. So this is one of the ways that you can do that super easy. Heavy bodied paint is super thick paint. It doesn't level out. It keeps its texture. It's buildable. See how this flattened out quite a bit? Like there's not a lot of raised surface. I see a spot right here that's still wet. All of this is completely, I'll show you at an angle so you can see what I'm talking about. So do you see how when we were doing the, adding the layers and swooshing the paint around, that it looked like it was creating levels of like pulled up paint? But if you look, I don't know if you can see, it's completely smooth. A heavy bodied paint, these areas would stay raised. They wouldn't level themselves out. It looks like choppy water. Yes, that's exactly what we're going for, is choppy water. Choppy water. Feels like me being there on the beach. Yes. Okay, so now we're going to work on our sand, okay? And the sand has some of these colors right here. And we're going to do the sand. So we're going to get that same brush. If you Google heavy body paint, oops, and you go to YouTube and watch some, there's people that have like, what's the difference? Like the comparables of different paint types. There's a lot of people that will show you all of those things. Okay, so I'm going to do I'm right-handed, so I'm sorry if that keeps getting twisted and turned a different direction. So it ends up being like this sometimes when I'm trying to keep it, I can't paint like this. And when we get to where I can film in a different way, you'll be able to see it the way that I'm looking at it. And that would probably be really helpful to people. So, for the sand, you have to imagine, again, we have a painting. It's not super real, but we want it to feel like it's an interpretation. So, sand has different colors. Sometimes when sand is wet, it's super dark. When it's dry, it's super light. And depending on where you are, sand can almost look white. So, depending on what side of the world you are on, your sand may vary, okay? So, I'm going to go with this darker Ooh, that's a lot. And I'm just gonna drop it in a few areas, okay? And when we're gonna take this is the cocoa and this is the burlap. And we're gonna go in around that, just kind of like so. And then we're gonna add in some white. Okay, so it looks like a hot mess, right? Don't you worry, don't you worry. Okay, all right, let's take our white and we're just gonna glob it up and we're gonna just start working our white kind of up there. And we're just gonna work our way through to create our sand. Now I'm going for a mix. And I know sometimes when the water moves across the sand that it can create little like ripples in the sand. And so I'm trying to, and I'm just gonna borrow some of that paint right there. I'm gonna try to get some of that to reflect in what we're doing here. Okay, so we've got a little bit of that lighter, and I'm gonna go ahead with the lighter and I'm gonna come down the side right here and just finish off the side. So when we look from the side of it, we're following it through. Okay, over here, let's go into this. And we might have to draw her hand back. We shall see how that goes. And I'm gonna go like right up to the water line. And then her shoulder. And I'm gonna bounce it back forward. So I'm gonna grab the paint and I'm gonna come back forward into that and back down. Okay. Now I'm trying to match what's behind this pole. We might have to also fix our little bucket. Add a little more white. I feel like our sand is getting a little murky and we want pretty sand. If you get too much paint on your brush, just pull it off. Don't go into the water because sometimes that can be a little bit of a mess. Add you some white back. Sometimes I get carried away with my paint. I'm gonna follow her arm. Now we are going to give her a tan. Let me pull this up so I can see what our comparable is here. Do a little bit of this dark and that white. And hopefully we're kind of close. when it dries. All right, follow that. And it looks like it's gonna have texture. It's gonna dry, promise, just like the ocean dried. And it's probably gonna not have as much detail to it. So let's come through here just a little bit. She's got some right through here. And get just a little. And then I have a lot of this, so I'm gonna go ahead and scoop some of this off. And I'm gonna add some white. And I'm gonna bounce this forward. Into that white. Y'all, the beach has been walked on. There's been a bunch of people. She is just chilling. So her little beach bag. Got to remember how the diameter of our pole for our umbrella. Okay, so I want to dry this and see how it looks before we start incorporating some of that water onto the shore. So let's see what happens when we dry this. So I can already tell that it's going to dry much lighter right here, and I want a little more of those brown speckles, which is that cocoa color. And so I'm just gonna add in a few little specks of like that cocoa. It's wanting to pick up that lighter color. And then definitely like right through here. And I'm just dipping into okay, now let's try it again. Is anyone's sound going in and out? It could be Facebook. I don't know. The sound is working fine on your end. I don't know, y'all. Jessie said hers is. Oh, yours is fine, Jessie? Okay. I got you. I got you. Sound is fine here. Sweet. Okay, so just like our ocean, do you see how our beach is starting to look like someone's walked on it a lot? Y'all, maybe try going out and then coming back in. I need to doctor. I need to do some doctoring. That is a little bit too light right there, and it needs to be just a smidge darker. Because the sand is more brown. And then over here. Okay, and then I need to paint this other side. Like up by the water. So the goal I want you to achieve is interpretation of your imagination. So that's why I kind of talk to myself. I mean, not like in a bad way, but like you kind of have to channel what you're wanting to create in a way, like through your thoughts. Okay. I want a walked on beach. Not super pristine, like one solid color. Better so far, well, good. Okay. So now we're going to take that same brush. Y'all, we've done quite a bit with one brush. Okay, I try to do as much as I can with the one. All right, so now we're going to take, so do you see we have the blue ocean and it's very harsh. Maybe it's a sandbar and it drops off. You create your own visual in your mind. If you ever have water drop like that, just soak it up gently. Don't wipe. And then just kind of let it dry. Your interpretation is whatever you create. Remember how I told you guys that in the beginning? So if you interpret that she's sitting up like on a dune and it's higher and she's like the beach is like dropping off, then you might see this, okay? You might see where it's just like a sharp line because the water's not washing. Yes, you could add spackle paint, but it's going to dry very different and your workability time is not going to be as good. And then your blending is going to be really difficult. So just keep that in mind. But yes, you could use spackle paint. So the interpretation is, what do you want this to appear to be? So I can create now this look where she is sitting up and it's starting and she's sitting and it starts to drop down and the water is lower. So if the water is lower, it's down here. It's going to have that hard stop, just like we see right here. Okay. Now, if the water is right here at her toes, okay, like right here, and it's washing up, then you would create a wash inward. Okay. So this is where you get to make a decision on what direction you want this to go, because it is very much going to change the way that it looks. Okay. So she can be sitting up on, a dune. She's looking out into the ocean and it's going outward. Her umbrella is here, which is clearly covered by the ocean, but it's not going to stay that way. Or it can be washing up onto her. Okay. So if we want it to wash up onto her, then we have to figure out how does that look coming inward. And it may have variations. Okay, so I think what I might do is, before we do the water, is it out or is it in? I want to finish painting the rest of this so that I can get a better idea for the finished outlook. Okay, so I did more of like a grayish hat for the mock-up picture. And so I'm going to use this round brush. It is I don't know what number it is. A 5. It says a 5, okay? I'm gonna use this and we're going to create her hat. My brush has got a little bit of water on it, so I'm just trying to like go around and like determine where her hat is. I can see the water line. You may not be able to see it. And so I'm just gonna mix a little gray. Just a little. That's probably a lot darker than I want it to be. So I'm gonna also get a little brown. So my hat is going to have purple details. So I'm gonna mixing this with some more white. Okay, so her hat is grayish, a grayish color. And I'm just building the foundation of her hat. Now her hat could be blowing upward. Y'all, it's whatever you think it is. It's whatever you see happening. And I'm gonna paint just a little bit past the ocean. We also have the inner top part of her hat. And I'm gonna add a little white. I really need an easel, like a tabletop easel, because I have such a hard time with the glare. And then there's a ruffle, but we can add that later. So I'm just gonna paint right over this with a lighter. So this is gonna help me tone down the color. Let's go into this. You know those sun hats that have that swirly look? I want that. But we definitely want to cover our entire canvas. And then I'm gonna do the top of her hat is just a little bit darker. I have a lot of like leftover paint, so we're gonna, okay, so let's do, just making sure. We just got to get a little bit darker. Might be a little too dark. Okay. I'm gonna go with it. And then let's do just a little, kind of like, on the top of her hat. You know, just a little bit. Just a little bit of character. Okay, so her hat is looking like a sun hat. And we still have to do her ribbon. We still have to do her thing. It's gonna be good. All right, let's dry this. Love that. Don't you want one? Don't you just want to be at the beach? Like, I definitely want to be at the beach. Okay, so now that that's mostly dry. All right, we gotta create, let's go ahead and do her bathing suit. And I chose purple. Now, you can do whatever color you want to. I chose Purple Rain. Purple Rain. Same thing as before. We're going to lay the foundation, and I'm using this little, like, number 5 brush. And I'm just going to drop this in here, kind of like this. And then we're going to add some white to her bathing suit. Because we want her bathing suit to be like, you know, we want it to be like colorful-ish. I have a lot of water in my brush for some reason. I don't know why. So we want her bathing suit to not be super dark purple, but we want it to be like a light purple, but we want it to have like character. Because the look we're creating is like a painting look. All right, so this is where we get to kind of clean up her booty a little bit better than what it was. It was a little harsh there. And you can change the back if you want it to be up a little higher. You can do that. Going right up to the hat. And her arm is here, so we need to keep that in mind. And let's go ahead and we'll paint the arm there. Let's do the arm. We also have to think about like the light source. So the light source, even this is the back side. Do that dark. I mean, my booty is much bigger than this one. Oh gosh. Much bigger. All right, let's do a little dark right through there. A little bit more. A little too much on there. Okay, so bathing suit, check. She could be leaning back to the side. I mean, it's whatever. It's whatever. All right, I do, while I have this purple, want to go ahead and incorporate that around her hat. So we're gonna come in around, okay, she's got that ribbon. It doesn't have to be a ruffle or a scallop. It doesn't have to be any of those things. So I'm just gonna go around and circle the top part of her hat where her head is inside. And this is, and then you can add your little scallops if you want to. You can add a bow if you want. You can, you know, do your little thing. And if you want to do the little scallopy, I just don't really want to do that now that I've got this going. I feel like I just want to create like maybe just a little bow tie, like just a little tie, just like a little tiny, a tiny tie. Okay, let's go with that. She's got her matching hat with her bathing suit, and she has like a boho hat. You know, it's a boho hat. Sprinkle the love. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's try her bathing suit. So we gotta do her tan. It's really cute. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So she's got a tan. Okay, so this is the warm beige. Okay, now I gotta try to mix that again, because we need quite a bit. I'm just mixing me up a little fleshy kind of color. It's the pigmentation. I'm like, look, like my hand is kind of, I have a lot of red undertones, so I don't have any red here. I'm gonna use a little bit of this orange. I don't know how that's gonna do. I don't want her to look like she's got a spray tan. All right, let's come in here. Let's try on the back and see how her back does. Now, I'm not gonna add a lot of layers to this because I really want her skin to look like smooth. But I want it to be a different shade than the sand. You can do this, you guys. I know that it looks so intimidating when you see it, but I'm showing you how it's done. And if you just follow the way that I've done it, I promise you that you're going to be able to like achieve, you're going to be able to achieve the look. She's got a little glow. Okay, she's got a little bit of a glow on her back. I would give her some red undertones, but I'm really not trying to make her look sunburnt. And then I'm gonna add a smidge of white. To just create, okay. Now, I have a lot of paint on my brush. So if you roll your brush, you can get most of that off. And you're right back to where you started. Okay, so let's go through and create. Now see how she's starting to get lost in the sand? We're definitely gonna have to fix that. I was kind of afraid of that. But I have a solution. Don't you worry. We're just gonna make the sand a little lighter. But she clearly needs to have a flesh color, so. And then her hand, her arm is angled down. Her elbow is kind of like at her side. And then there's like the ocean and the sand and the beachy areas. And then her hand is kind of like flat. So we are gonna definitely have to fix the sand and her body. For sure, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, so we've got her arm. And clearly it's there. Okay, let's take some of this lighter color. And that's where we're gonna create that highlight, just a little bit. And then on her booty, let's get a little of that white. And we're just following down. Just a little bit. We'll add some white to the beach so it's not so sandy like Georgia. We'll make it more like Destin. Definitely more like Destin for sure. All right, let's do this arm. I can literally hear the water running upstairs, down the wall. If you're ever like not certain about how to like paint a flesh, just go with it. You really can't mess it up. And you can always add highlights and stuff to like fix it. So she's got her arm, and this one has got a little bit of a fold, and it's kind of coming down like so. We are definitely going to have to fix that sand. And then her booty. Okay. To add a little highlight. And just a little like right through there. Okay. So she is sitting. She's a little bit more of a highlight, but I think I used white in her area there. And then a little bit through there. Okay. So now let's fix our sand because we need to do that. For sure. All right, let's do a little white. I feel like my brush is super wet. So I'm just gonna bounce along where her arm is, gently. And we're just gonna go over the top of the sand just a little bit like that. It's just going to create a lighter hue of sand. And if needed, we can go back over if we need to. All right, let's just, we're gonna paint our towel there, so. Okay, I just wanna bounce along. Oh, sorry, y'all. I just wanna bounce along lightly and create like I said, a different shade of sand. But not changing it too much. So see how I have a little bit of texture from what I did previously? This is really, that's why I'm not brushing it. I'm just kind of bouncing the color over the top. So you can kind of see the undercolor of sand. And it's, see how her body is now like popping off of there versus what it was doing before? There's always a solution. We're just changing the sand. I'll probably have to come back over and like fix that. Just a little. So her hand is like on like the towel. Right, like so. And we've got our little bucket, which we still have to paint. See, you just change it up a little bit. But it's subtle and it's not like over the top. Now she went from Tybee to someplace with a little bit more white sand. A little bit more majestic. All right, let's do on the other side of our umbrella. How fun. She took a Google vacation. I call them virtual vacays. I like to go on Google Maps and like look at places that I've never been and just kind of like zoom in on satellite view and like admire what's there while not having to get on a plane. You know, because I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Okay, let's get this side. And so see how her body looks more like skin than the rest of it? Just looks a little bit better. All right, let's try to fix the transition. let's try to fix the transition, and I think we can do it. So basically we have her body, like her hand is here. She's got a little bit of her like elbow happening. And then she's got a little bit of a fold like right through there. Okay. And then right here, like on the inner, and then like right there. She definitely needed some skin. Okay, for sure, we need to identify her shoulder here. Okay, this is her arm. Okay, we've got that. Running out of color over here. And we're just gonna follow. Just gonna follow. Which way? Which way? Which way? Which way? Okay, let me hold it this way. So her arm is coming this way. And then it kind of folds. And our bucket will kind of go here, or her bag. Oh, sorry. So sorry, y'all. Okay, so body right through here. I'm just gonna go with it that it's okay. It's fine. It's not a real human. She looks fine. She's having a good time. Okay, we're not gonna overthink it. All right, so our sunbathing beach girl. Oh, why won't I fly? Oh my gosh, Jessie, girl, where have you been? Where have you been? First of all, I have a fear of heights, and there's nowhere to pull over. So there's that. Definitely, when you add character, it makes it look real. You just have to have a little bit of patience and interpretation. And like, when you look at her, it's like, is her legs crossed? Like, is she sitting like crisscross? Is her feet like kicked out, like crossed over each other? Like, is she leaning back a little bit? Is she like, what's happening here? You know what I'm saying? So it's just interpretation. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our poll for our umbrella. I did a purple poll, but we're going to do like a gray one. That's a little bit too gray. Let's do a little lighter. We want maybe silverish. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So let's go down. I might need a little bit more dark just to create our dimension and coverage. Oh Lord, I gotta try to paint a straight line, y'all. This is not ideal. Let's try. Oh my. Oh, gotta fix that. I do not want a broken umbrella post. Oh, thank you, Pamela. Okay, so again, we want to create a highlight. So we're just going to go into some white and take and add a little to your umbrella stand and just go down just a little bit. I do not know if I can fix that right there, so I'm going to try to add a little white to it and then just kind of bounce, because I definitely got out of the line, but it'll be okay. Okay, so umbrella topper. All right, so I'm gonna go with the Super Mega Green. And we're gonna, I need some white. I need some white. Y'all, this is what happens when I do my white. And so if your white gets like this, just add a little more in another spot, kind of start over. Take that, add a little. It was a little too green for me. It looked cute in the jar, but not so much on the canvas. All right, we're gonna go with, oh shoot, I just got paint. Hang on, y'all. I just literally got wet paint all over my brushes. That was messy. All right, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go around my umbrella, just like so. And this does have a little bit of a scallop, which I will probably have to address momentarily. Okay, so let's take a little bit of that white and I'm just gonna create a few like streakies. And then I'll add a little dark green to go around. And let me add this. So it's all gonna look like one color until we add that division, which I tried to do kind of right there. And essentially, we're just gonna create a darker shade between the two panels of our umbrella and follow that around. So I wanted to get a lighter, and then we're just gonna go a shade up on this. And then just kind of follow it around, and we'll add that dimension as we get done. Okay, so there's a scallop, Like it's a loop, 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 kind of like that. All right, let's bring that green through like so. And then I'm gonna take that same dark green that's on my brush, and I'm just gonna follow it along the outer edge of our, it got a little over on the side, but that's okay. I'm just gonna go along the outer edge of the part that's the lighter color. Just like that. And then if you want, you can add like, you can add a little dark through if you wanted to like just create little streaks. Okay, so let's take that dark and bring it around to an even darker. And you can just create your little next piece of your umbrella part. And then you can determine how your scallop is going to go. Like this should have probably been like this and then down. It's a little wonky, but so this is our umbrella. Okay, so for the top part of our umbrella, I think we want to go with, let's go with a little bit of a darker green. And I just added a little bit of black. And I'm just gonna create a darker shade. So it's a smidge of green, or a smidge of black with the green. And we just now have two different shades, and that's gonna be like the top of our umbrella. Since we need to have a different color, and I just stuck my thumb right in that green. Okay, so the top of our umbrella is just like that. And then we're gonna go in to our little scallops. Again, you can do whatever color you want. I'm going with a leafy, it's like a leafy umbrella. It's a palmy umbrella. Imagination, use your imagination. I know you'll have an imagination. Okay, so top of our umbrella, and we're going to add a, I was gonna use some orange, but I don't think I'm going to. We're getting pretty close, you guys. We just have to do our bucket, our towel, and our, and then our little birds. Y'all, it's, so this is what I'm saying. When I do these things, I'm like, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Let's do a, at the top, let's do a gray top to our umbrella. Just like that. There we go. Let's just, you're here for the long haul, your night out. I am too, Gina. I also struggle with concept of time. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just do this really quick painting. No. It's not what happened. But hey, it's free for y'all. So hope you enjoy it. Okay, next, let's do our beach bag. Our beach bag is the, what color was that? Sea Breeze. Sea Breeze. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to my brush because I feel like it's super dry. And we're gonna go right in to the beach bag. Beach bag it is. She got a little tote. She got herself a little tote here. And we're gonna add, let's add a little bit of this to the mix of it. This little like bluish kind of color. And then right there at the opening, let's add a little black. To like the opening there. It's not real, like I said. It's definitely not real. At all. No one's bag looks like that. Okay. Just pretend. Just pretend. Okay, the bucket. The bucket. Let's do a green bucket. Let's do a green bucket to match the umbrella. So maybe it's like a matching set. I don't really know. I will say that I struggle with circular. I can do like shading and stuff, but like the buckets and things, not so much. Not so much. So we're just gonna go with the bucket. Like so. And then I'm gonna make it a little bigger at the top and scoop it forward. Make it like a little bigger and scoop it. Okay, so now we need a darker green. Okay, so we're gonna go across the top. This is basically my way of like, how do you create like a bucket? This would be my way of creating a bucket. I don't know what's in it, but there's stuff in it. And then we're gonna take that gray and we're gonna imagine that there is a handle to the bucket. I probably should have just used the end of my brush for this, but I didn't. So now let's follow the handle. I probably should have let that dry. I mean, just go with it. Let's do a little drop of a highlight. And let's do a highlight across our handle. Probably is too... That handle is not good. All right, in the bucket, let's do something that's got a little bit of a highlight to it. Like right in there. There's stuff in there. Do I know what? No. No, I do not know what is in there. But I do know this. That's as far as our bucket adventure is going to go. Okay. Okay. That's it. Not going to go any further with our bucket. Now we're going to do our towel. Oh, Lord. Y'all, we're getting so close. Wow. I'm surprised so many of you guys are here still. Y'all are like, my lovely diehard friends. I just love this. All right, so our towel is a black towel with white stripes. And so we're going to match that. And we're just gonna add a little jaggedy, like, edge to it. Okay, so this continues on to here. My brush has seen better days. Just follow it under our bucket. Probably should have did the towel first. I need a different brush. That brush needs a little help. Let's use this one. That's probably much better. We're going to dry this black before we go in for the white. For sure. Find your flow and the direction in which your line is going. Okay. Let's do the next line, which would be this one. A lot of paint on my brush. And then kind of like right here. Ooh, I got a little crazy right there. I'm just trying to follow what it would do on the end. Okay, this towel goes like that. Okay, let's fill it in. Y'all, we're in the home stretch. We just have to add our little birds. I hope you enjoyed this one. You know, I contemplated, like, what does a free class look like? And I just feel like, you know, for someone who's new or may not know what to do, one of the ways you learn is by doing. And so this is definitely like, my challenge to you is like, hey, get you a canvas, a piece of cardboard, like whatever it is, and practice. Practice. You have to practice, practice. Because if you don't, you will never know what you're capable of. You got to do it. you gotta. All right. I forgot to paint the beach at the bottom. It's turning out lovely, isn't it? I love a black and white towel, by the way. So that's why I picked these colors. All right, let's dry this because we got to do white. And I think I just want to leave it to where she's kind of sitting up a little higher. The tide's gone out. I don't really think, oh, would it do anything to the sun? I just feel like I want to leave it. There's enough details happening that I feel like it's good. Okay, so let's do white. And so for the white, I'm gonna add just a little bit of this off-white color, that bleach sand, to our white. And it's gonna create, I feel like there's a cricket. Is there a cricket in here? I hear it for sure. It's gonna create some dimension for our towel. That isn't just like a stark white canvas. I hear it. It's chirpy, but I feel like it's outside. It could be our fan too. I think our fan might need adjusted. Look at that. There we go. Cutesy, cutesy. That's that bleach sand mixed with white. How pretty. I'm so proud of myself. See, I kind of got out of the line, but it's okay because it's really honestly very forgiving. Especially right through here because it folds over the edge. I could probably sit and do this for hours, like the entire day. Oh, don't tempt me. I will absolutely do it. All right, I do need to fix my beach down here that I missed. And I'm just adding, I just add a little brown. Here we go. Let's do like a smidge more of like this weird, like beachy. She just needs a little highlight right there. Okay. The birds. So for the birds, I think what I want to do is use a marker for that. And I'm not going to use a Sharpie. I'm going to use one of these Sharpie. Well, it is a Sharpie, but not a like permanent marker Sharpie. This is like one of the paint marker Sharpies. And essentially what I'm going to do is create, let me go to my picture. My picture has, so as you can see, even though we did the outline and we traced, like we drew it out, you don't see any of my lines. So wherever I messed up, it really honestly doesn't matter. At all. And then let's do that one there. And then maybe let's do like one, like a little bit further. There we go. Add a little curve to it. I just stuck my arm in the paint. Okay, I'm gonna sign this with my marker. And then I am going to, oh, look what I just did. No. Oh my gosh, you guys. Stop it. Stop it right now. We can fix it. We'll just go right on over that. Like, how is that even a thing? See, stuff happens. We got this. We got this. And then we're going to dry it just so we make sure it doesn't happen again. And then let's come over here, which I kind of like the little splotchies on the towel because it makes it look like it's not perfect. It's just cute. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Let's dry it. I mean, it's not perfect right there, but it'll be okay. Oh, it's a shadow from the tote. Yeah. I mean, it is. It kind of is. I wasn't going to go into that much, like, that in depth, but I drew this on my iPad and I wanted to create something that was fun, summery, a free class that we could do together. And this is what we ended up with. So, the water's kind of choppy. She's sitting up higher, like on the beach, looking outward. There's been like a lot of people like there. Then they kind of like left and are like going out, you know, or maybe she's just kind of sitting in her own little private beach. There's some like birds in the sky. Usually the seagulls are white, but we went with a darker color. This is a concept, so we can do whatever we want to. If I would have felt super confident, I would have drew a little boat out there, but I'm not going to go that far. I'm just going to kind of leave it the way it is. And then on the edges, you can see how I finished the canvas, even the tote and the towel. And then on the top, I finished the top, and then I also finished the bottom. And you can kind of see how the towel is like coming across the bottom. So there is a tracer that you can get, so you don't have to freehand it like I did. I did put the link down below to all of our paint classes. That's worth big bucks. I mean, it should be. Like, who wants to buy it? No. I just feel like it looks challenging, but a beginner can do this. And I showed you like the tricks to all the things. Our girl and her tan was blending too much with our beach, so we just lightened up the beach, and she's in a whole different like beach setting now. You really can just do so much if you just practice and you learn what does what. So, I love her hat. I didn't do the scallop, and I just did a little subtle bow, but I love her hat and how she's got that swirly big sun hat. And she's sitting, the curiosity is how is she sitting? What's happening? Just so much stuff, okay? So her umbrella's leaning, you know, she's got a matching set. Like, there's a story to tell with everything. The perfect body, right? I want it. I want it. There is, you know, something, maybe it's a bucket of sand. I don't know, but I think it's cute, and I hope that you enjoy it. So Friday, we're doing the ice cream cone. It's a free class also. We're going to do it in our Facebook group. That's where we do our free classes. I will save this video from my Facebook page, and I will put it in the supply list, and I'll re-email it to you. So if you did get this tracer, my shop, when I update a download, it'll send you an updated link. So in the supply list, it'll say, watch the tutorial here. You won't even have to come back to Facebook. You can just literally click from within the supply list, and there's a water bucket so she can splash herself to say, cool, yes, Beverly, yes, girl, yes. So there's a supply list. I will update the colors. I went with the colors I thought I would use for this, and that's what is on the supply list. But you guys, these are just regular acrylic paints, and these are the brushes that I used, and I did keep using the gross water. I have my paper towel over here, and I only used one. I'm very proud of myself. And we used a marker, and yeah, we used mostly 2 paintbrushes. And then I showed you how to do the background with the prepping. But yeah, this is what we did. So I'll take a picture. I will post it for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this. This is how you can like start practicing your painting. There's so many different ways to paint, and it'll keep you busy for a while. So if you need something to pass the time, give yourself a grace and a chance and practice, and you can do it. I believe that you can do it. Thank you, Edith. I appreciate that. So I hope you had a good time. I certainly had a good time. Of course I had a good time. I was painting something. It is super late. It is super late. tomorrow. Oh, I've been saying like for a week now that I'm going to be taking pictures of all the new stuff. And that's my goal. That's my goal. So today I made 2 files, like 2 batches, like 2 big batches of Christmas ornaments, Christmas stuff. We have a Christmas village accessories, and it's not like a super big village. Like it's small, like it would be super cute on a mantle. Or like on a table setting, it would just be really adorable. So, and you can get each piece individually if you want to. Like some people may not want, you know, one, or some people may want all of them. So I had a bunch of people last year ask, hey, can you do like a Christmas town? I was like, I don't really have that. So I had to find one that I liked. And so I found one. And so we have a Christmas village I'm working on, a bunch of new ornaments, probably 10 or 15 new ornaments. And then some really cute little sitters and a train. I have a little train. What else did I cut? Y'all, there's so much. I can't even remember all the things that I cut, but there's really fun Christmas stuff coming. And then all of our Christmas stuff is in the shop from last year. All the fall is in there, ornaments. Oh, and I'm gonna probably, not this weekend, but maybe next weekend, work on Halloween stuff too. So you have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Well, that's okay. That is okay. And then I will be crafting tomorrow night. The girls will not be here because my sister has shingles, so I'll have a free evening. I will come on and craft with you guys something. I'll surprise you. It's normally a surprise anyways, but I'll surprise you. So thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I appreciate you so very much. Sprinkle this along, save the video, check the link in the comments. I hope that you sign up for our class next weekend. It's Friday and Saturday. It's $15. I feel like it's worth $15 because, and I don't ever have to explain myself because I know that it is. So I just feel like, you know, not everything can be free. So we have a paint class coming up next weekend. You can watch the replay. There will be a replay available. And then on Friday, we have the ice cream cone. So that's going to be super good. It is contagious. Yeah. Not because it's contagious. I'm not sure about that, but it's common. I got one. Are you talking about shingles? Push the share button. It's free. So is the comment button. Commenting and like reacting is far more valuable than sharing the video. Sharing a video really does not hold very much weight anymore. Really, it doesn't. You could share this video to 100 different places, and what matters the most is the people who are here and conversating. And I know that people don't talk near as much as they used to. I still go back and like read all the comments, and I just notice less and less people talking. Like less and less people are talking, and I don't know. I feel like we've just become like, I don't know. I'm super chatty. So when I'm commenting to like people that are my, like, you know, that I follow, I'm like, I've read out like all this stuff and I'm like super talky. And so many people are just so quiet. And it's, I don't know if it's because they don't have a lot to say or they don't know how to like have conversation starters or like meet people or like talk to each other. I don't know what it is, but, liking and commenting are probably the most important things that you can do to support someone, and it's very much appreciated. So even if you want to just tell me about how your day was, I like to go back and read those. It's what I typically do in the mornings. I go to Pinterest and I find my inspiration because I love Pinterest. I've been doing that for years. And then I will usually start working on my morning tasks that I need to do before I leave, which is mostly scheduling posts and reading comments and making sure that I've, you know, commented on YouTube and like just all this stuff. But yeah, it's just really important that you have a conversation with people that you follow. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope y'all have a blessed day, and thanks.